Yo, it's good. This your boy Youngie 2 times.
It's your boy X, man.
Yeah, man. And we reacting to Kevin Samuels today. And the video is called "Did I Make a Mistake Leaving Him?" So before we get into the video, make sure y'all like, make sure y'all share, make sure y'all subscribe. The title seems spicy, so
spicy.
It should be should be spicy. So
not just making them wait because. So what do you got on the subject?
So I just wanted to say that while I do believe that there are some men that will wait, most men will not, and that's just the fact. I have been that person who has waited.
Hold on.
She said she waited for what?
Yeah, let's just say that.
90 days. I've waited however many days because of my mom.
Oh, I thought she made her brother wait. Well, 90 days.
Hold on, go back. I want to make sure I heard.
Nah, she was saying.
What's she saying?
She said she made men wait for 90 days, and then she's talking about her mother, but we just cut it off.
The Steve Harvey book and whatever, and you know, my mom and my sister giving me advice, and I have learned that it really does not work. Although
it's like Kevin Samuels just hovering over the mute button.
it does with some men. I think certain men with specific types of morals who are looking for a specific type of woman, they are willing to wait.
What kind of man are you talking about?
A man who sees women as a prize, or a man who has a lot of options for women, who might choose this woman to be the one that he courts, and then these women to be the women that he.
Okay, I want to be saying has morals. You said morals.
Well, yes, because some men for a specific kind of woman will wait. Okay,
but I like to get down granular. Morals. How do you determine a man's morals based upon? Are you talking about men who are Christians?
No, not at all.
Okay, so what are we talking about? A man's morals.
A man who sees a woman as someone.
Because morals are just right and wrong, and that has nothing to do with seeing a woman. So what you're talking about is you're almost talking about a man who pedestalizes a woman, puts her on a pedestal.
But also a man who sees the cherry as the prize.
Okay, but where's the cherry?
The cherry is, the same.
Where is it located?
In the pens.
No, ma'am. Where is the cherry located on a dessert?
Oh, at the top. At the top.
Thank you. It's at the top of the pedestal.
Oh, okay.
So that's where it is. A man who pedestalizes women, puts them up. But I mean,
and before we go deeper into this, right? I seen this post on Facebook, and they were saying that the problem with women sometimes about like what they determine as like a high level value or high value man is that these women are giving the definition of what they think a high value man is. It's not like somebody's telling them about it. They're making their description on what they believe is what they should look for. You know what I'm saying? That's like a man like, yo, a woman should be this. Without knowing, like just saying everything that benefits them without saying, you know what I'm saying?
I think the thing is though, man, people look too much towards like what a person can do for you instead of who they are.
All beneficial. It's like,
you know what I'm saying?
All pros, no cons. Like,
cause no, I'm saying like just who they are as a person, how they treat other people, like everything outside of you is what's more. To be honest, it's something that you should look at more than what that person could do for you.
Yeah,
they could have a WAP. She could cook great and all that, but to be honest, that don't matter about nothing about being a long-term shorty to you. That don't matter for shit.
Exactly.
What culture
and all that too could be
of competitive, successful men put women ahead of men?
I don't know that any do.
Because it's a formula for disaster. putting women at the top is the sure way to crumble a society. So the moral thing to do, if you want a society to continue, is to put who on top?
The man.
Right. So why play games with the thing that needs to be on top?
Listen, at first, you wanted someone to come on and say why they think you're crazy and they don't agree with you. But the more I sit here and the more I'm obviously listening and thinking about my own experiences, it's not a good idea to play those types of games. And that's why I told my mom, I'm a human being, and granted, I wait a long time, many months, up years to engage in that type of activity, but that's because I don't date for a long period. Okay, so how old are you? 38. I'm well past the danger zone.
Well,
it's getting high. She's like, oh shit, he grilling me. He grilling me.
Oh,
so do you
she knows what's coming.
So have you been married?
No, engaged twice, but never married. No.
That's crazy. So what I think is like when somebody has been engaged twice, right?
Yeah.
And then the wedding is called off. It's like, what'd you do to F that up so bad? You know what I'm saying? Like, how'd you F that up? Like, you've been engaged twice but never married. So halfway through, it's just like, no, I'm good.
I think too, man, like, I noticed something too on his show. A lot of women will brag about that. I've been offered like people trying to marry me and shit though, at least, so people want me, and I turned it down. But you don't get married though.
But I mean,
so what's the bravado?
But I think that I've been engaged twice but never married shows that there's been talks of it, but neither of us been willing to compromise enough to make that final push, because there's something wrong.
There's something wrong with you, and there's something wrong with how you pick it.
Yeah.
Sisters are the queens of being engaged, man. Being engaged, if we could count engagements as marriages, I wonder if it's like, okay, so you've been engaged. Did you ever want to have children?
Biological children?
Well, yeah.
Only if I marry someone and he wants to have.
So what I gotta ask the question.
But yes.
What I asked the question, and I'm trying to put this in a delicate way as possible, but at 38 years old, why should anybody wait years to have sex with you?
Oh, no.
Or months.
No.
They don't need no more.
Because you're talking about everybody else, and what I thought I heard you say was, but for me, I wait a long time.
No, in between people, like
Oh, okay.
Yes, no, me, I wait a very long time. Like, I'm not going to.
I waited a very long time for what? To have sex?
Yeah. Yes.
So when you meet a man, you wait a long time.
Depending on the man, but no, that's not what I'm exactly saying. What I'm saying.
That's what you keep saying, though. That's what we keep hearing. Slow down. Breathe. If you meet,
take a breather with Kevin Samuels, all right?
I think is weird is that
I think I get what she's saying. Maybe it seemed like she's saying she takes a long period of time between partners.
Yeah,
that's what I interpreted.
No, it's understanding. That sounds stupid.
What, to take a long time?
Yeah.
What?
I think because
give me the pussy, bitch.
Nah, it's not even that. But I think if you want to have sex with somebody,
yeah,
you should have sex with someone. You shouldn't, say, imagine you met someone, right? You want to have sex. Maybe 2-3 days in. But you like, no, I'm going to wait 30 days. Because something in my mind's telling me, if I wait 30 days, if I wait 30 days, I make myself more valuable. Right? Mm-hmm. You don't feel like that.
But that you're right on point, because Again, it's the what's the dude, Steve Harvey. So Steve Harvey's mentality,
Yeah,
got you thinking that that's something you should do.
Yeah,
but in all reality, when the time is right, fuck
yeah.
Like why are you constraining yourself? Like, to be honest, people, I'm going with it, right? Let's say let's say a girl's dating a guy. She said, "I'm giving him the 90-day rule," right? When she finally gives it up to him, and it's not good, he acts different after, because it's not like the 90-day point means this is gonna be great. This means this is a new level. It actually could be catastrophic.
Yeah, because some people like challenges.
Right, and you wasted 90 days with this person when you could have been potentially dating somebody else that came along.
Yeah. Because you want to stretch it out.
To wait.
Because if you're stretching out 90 days, something that's
just dude will come. Now, I say this. We're not saying if you're not comfortable fucking the dude, do not fuck him, because you're gonna feel like shit about it.
Yeah.
Nobody should fuck anybody they don't want to fuck.
Alright. Right. A lot of cussing right there. Like 5 F-bombs in 1 minute.
Don't F nobody you don't want to F, right?
Yeah.
Because I feel like it's gonna bother you. It's gonna bother you, right? But if there comes that time, you know, the person you with looking extra right, they feeling that energy, you feeling that energy, do it. Yeah. And if for some reason they feel like they don't want to deal with you after that, cool. Then you saw what type of person they were early on. You got to see who they were. You got to see what they about. Some dude, I'm telling you this, I'm sorry ladies for breaking it down to you like this. A dude will tell you he could wait 90 days and still be effing 5 other girls. Yeah. Cause look, what could go through our mind in that period of time?
Shorty playing games. I'm playing games too, you know?
Shorty, I'm gonna be honest, if a girl is very like restricted with the poems, it's gonna make me feel like I should be out here in these streets, to be honest with you. Because I feel like if you very constrained with it, you either give it to somebody else. You bought that BS.
Well, you too worried about your body count.
You too worried. That could be it too. I don't think about that, but that could be something too. You worry about your body count.
The reason
maybe you also waiting for the dude that you really want to give it to. He playing, and you just the guy that she comfortable talking to. Yeah, that's a whole different thing to go into your mind when you make somebody wait. Cause I'm gonna be honest, after a certain period of time, I'm about to get these hoes. Yeah.
How long have you typically waited from the time you met a man to the time you guys are first intimate?
The shortest, probably, honestly, I don't know, a week or two. The longest, no more than about 3 months.
Okay, it's not too bad, but I don't know.
But if you make somebody wait 3 months just because I feel like that's right, but I want to do it, that's corny.
Cause I feel like if you waited 3 months, cause maybe they working over here, they in another state, you doing your thing, maybe you working 7 days a week right now, and then then you sum it up in this 90 days. That's perfectly fine.
Yeah, because because
it's just conflicting schedules, conflicting lifestyles at that point.
But I think what it is like, you know, when somebody just wants to get to know you and wants to understand you, why they're not doing it. But you could understand what somebody's like, I want to stretch it out because I feel like if I do this quickly, you know what I'm saying? They give off little indicators, you know what I'm saying? Like, so you be like, yo, bro, I'm not no kid, you know. I don't like playing no games, you know. You know what I'm saying? Either give it or not, like, you know what I'm saying?
Right. Cause we grown, bro. Yeah. And again, like I said, if a dude leave you right after smashing, now I'm not saying you meet a dude and you should sleep with him. I'm not saying that. No. See what they about, and if that's within your heart to do, do what's in your heart. Yeah. Because you're restricting yourself, and not everybody's not gonna be that patient. Yeah. And especially like if you're doing that and you have your walls up already too, because a lot of women that do make you wait have a lot of walls up, and a lot of dudes gonna feel like they, like I said, they gonna be playing. It's too difficult. Yeah, I'm gonna be out here in these streets. Yeah, like a lot of dudes is out here dating K Michelle's, but they got all these walls built up and all that, and you're like, you know what? I'm about to be out here doing my thing.
So that's a vast range, and that's what frustrates men. There is no logical sense to a man that you could say one man has to wait up to 90 days and one guy doesn't even have to wait a week. Men on the marketplace look at that as, I'm going to buy a car, and one dealership is offering it for $100 and another dealership is offering it for $100,000. Men are price sensitive, and we are cost benefit calculators. So in your own example, you just validated why men are so frustrated with women on the marketplace, because you can talk and have these things and Steve Harvey and this and that, my mother, but in your own day-to-day life, 90 days to a week. But at the end of the day, no matter what your calculus is, whatever kind of interaction you want to have with a man, do you currently have it?
Right now?
Yes.
Oh.
Are you in the process of getting it within the next 6 months?
Doubtful.
Then what you're doing isn't working, and you're almost 40. So you talk to your mother, and it's, where's your father?
Oh, my dad, they're still married. He's
okay, but what I'm understanding is you're an attractive woman, but why no man?
The simple answer is, there's two simple answers, and I'm sure every woman and many men say the same thing: pickiness. The second simple answer is because a lot of the men that I actually really am interested in, like for real, it's not reciprocated. To the point where, like, we'll date and everything will be fine, and then all of a sudden they're gone, or I'm gone.
Okay. No. Let's talk about the ones where you told two different things. The kind of men you say you're really interested in, it's not reciprocated.
Yes.
Not reciprocated means it's not coming back with them. So you just told a story where they leave and you leave. That's confusing.
Well, or I leave, because I have done the same thing.
So it's not reciprocated from you.
She is telling on herself, because if you saying it's because of me, but this is somebody that you wanted, then you F that up because of your own stuff. Yeah. And then if they leave, it's just they're not interested. Yeah. That could be it too. Maybe you go on a date, you're not interested. I think everybody go through that. You know, you go through a date, you're like, oh, it's not gonna work out. Yeah. I don't really like to sleep. No.
Yes, because of something very specific that might happen that makes me become unattracted to the person. Very, just
why is getting with the man so complex? This is like calculus 3.
And it shouldn't be.
No, it shouldn't.
There is a person that I was dating that seems to be coming back around, but I don't really know if that's the case. I don't know.
Why were you engaged? You were engaged twice?
I was engaged twice.
Somebody dropped to a knee, presented a ring in public, and asked you for your hand in marriage.
Imagine the trauma, right? If you dating a show like a shorty like her, she gonna be dating again, right?
Yeah.
And she get proposed to, and it don't work out again. That trauma is crazy, because it's like, I'm 3 for 3 now. Like, I'm 3 for 3 in engagements and no wedding. Maybe that's a self-realization. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, that could play a part in how other things, like other situations, don't manifest for you, or they don't work out for you, because it's like Like you said, the trauma of being engaged twice, and not being married.
Yeah.
Yes, almost 3 times, but twice.
And who broke off the engagement the first time?
I did.
What's it called? Nostradamus.
The second time.
I did.
Why did you accept
He's seen
the
this
ring the
before.
first time?
Because he was my best friend, my high.
And that didn't stop after he gave you the ring.
Oh no, it didn't stop. But
So why'd you break it off? If it was good enough to accept the ring, why was it not good enough to go through with the marriage?
The reason is because he and I were not compatible.
But you accepted the ring.
That is correct.
So you weren't sexually compatible.
That is correct.
How would you know if you see? Here's the problem. Here's the problem with sex before marriage. You wouldn't know that if you're a virgin. There's no sexual compatibility. See, you're a different.
So she broke it off because the sex wasn't good. How did you know that? That's pretty good guesswork. Because she didn't say they weren't sexually compatible. He did. Like, oh, so you weren't sexually compatible?
Yeah, I mean,
he was like, no.
I mean, I think that makes sense. You know what I'm saying?
Because that do. Because if she said she opened with their best friends. They were good friends, whatever. And I mean, that's the conclusion you can make from that, because he didn't cheat or anything. So from what she said, she didn't say he cheated. So yeah. But you did accept the ring, like.
Well, I think that's always like, I feel like whenever you date your best friend, it never works out. Like if you're a shorty and you have a male best friend and you date, it's like just be friends.
Oh, like you were friends before anything.
Yeah, and just be friends. It's never gonna work out.
I'm be honest, I can't really, like, if I'm kind of interested, because I feel like if you best friends with somebody and then you date, I feel like that whole time you was attracted to them.
Yeah,
you had to have.
I feel like men that date best friends at a woman, they were always attracted to the woman as more sexually than she was. You know what I'm saying? So it's always like a weird situation.
I mean, maybe she was too though, because sometimes that happens though. Like the girl is really into you, you ain't peep it, and she ain't really express it correctly. And then one day you drunk, she said, "I love you, nigga."
But I feel like it's never evenly yoked. You know what I'm saying? It's always one more than the other. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's a fact.
Kind of perfect example. 38-year-old woman who should 70, 80 years ago, you'd have been married a long time ago. But it has become so complex. I mean, you're accepting engagement for people you're not sexually compatible with. This doesn't work, that doesn't work. I'm too picky, and so forth. You know where that ends up being, this man? That's what that ends up in. Buy a dog, die alone. That's what this ends up in. Because at 40 years old,
you love noises,
40 years old, you become more difficult. Not less. Have you had therapy yet?
No.
I think it would be wise.
Why? To find a man?
Excuse me? To find a man?
Yes. That's why I need therapy to find a man?
No, you need therapy, period.
Well, there's a...
Why is that? Okay, let's stop right there. Seriously, man. Why is therapy insulting to so many black women? Like, you're a woman. Why is that insulting to you?
No, I'm not insulted at all. I wanted to be a therapist. I was just asking, are you saying I need therapy to find a man?
Well, you need something. You need something. How about that?
I mean, if you're going to therapy, like, you're not going because, all right, if you're really going to therapy because of your relationship issues, it's more so you trying to better yourself to be better in relationships, right? Or and also just not just that relationship, other relationships as well, because it could be relationships you have with your parents, your siblings, or whatever, or even old feelings from other relationships where it was holding you back in a way that is affecting how you form new relationships. Yeah, you know what I mean?
You need something because what you're doing ain't working.
You going to therapy?
That's fine.
And what I'm listening to, man, is a woman who's been engaged to my best friend, such and so forth. You know all these things. And you got a man to the point to waste his time, money, and resource to the point to where he was involved with you enough to where he bought a ring, you accepted, and you broke it. See, if we started judging you women like you judge men and put you on the Don't Date 'Em Girl site, your face will be posted all plastered all over it. Don't deal with it. Listen, ma'am. Listen, you broke off 2 engagements. One from a best friend, and you say because the dick wasn't good. I'm sorry, that's a trash ass reason. And why'd you break up?
Hopefully he's not watching.
The second one. Bad dick again?
No. I don't want to hurt. I don't want him to see that. Well, honestly, because he was, I could not learn anything from him. I'll say that. I was unable to learn from him. He did not challenge me intellectually, and that was a major problem for me. We became engaged too quickly. He told me, he proposed to me because he thought I was about to leave him, which was kind of true. So I made a mistake. I just made a mistake. And we were only engaged for 2 months. I made a mistake.
How long were we guys together?
We were only together for 6 months, but we worked together before, so we'd known each other for a year.
That seems very rushed.
And how old were you when this happened?
24, 5? I don't remember. It was a long time ago. I hadn't been engaged for a while. The third almost engagement.
Hold up. So what was the first time you were engaged?
I was in college, but he was my high school sweetheart. But I must.
So hold on.
So she didn't want to put the second dude on blast, but she said, so he my high school sweetheart. Oh, that narrows it down. Now everybody from our town gonna know who the fuck I'm talking about. Damn.
Put him on blast.
Damn.
So you were engaged to a high school / college sweetheart, but you and I am together because you guys weren't physically compatible. Trash ass reason, but okay. Then a guy you knew for a year, but he didn't challenge you intellectually. What did he do for a living?
He ain't got that,
I'm in education.
Now, what did he do for a living?
Oh, what did he do?
Mm-hmm.
The second one, we worked for a.
So you're both teachers?
No. I'm not a teacher, but we worked for a residential treatment facility for kids.
Okay. And you're in education. What do you do now?
I am in administration.
What did I tell you guys? Black women are married to the system. That's your husband. Put him in place. Put him in charge of whatever I said last broadcast. That's what they are. Because you're getting rid of men because of sexual incompatibility, and a lot of women say, "Well, that's an important part." Okay. Then the last man, you were both doing a similar job, so he was a stable man though financially. As stable as you, at least.
It was a stable. Well, there wasn't a lot of money in that job.
I didn't say. I said as stable as you, at least.
That's correct. You're right.
Because if you were in it, he was in it, and you were stable, right?
Yes, I was.
So because he wasn't. What you should.
I think what he about to say is he wasn't no boss ass dude.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's what I think it was. He wasn't no dude that she could be like, oh, that's my man. He hold it down. He do boom, boom, boom.
Knowing man is the standard a black woman has for a black man to be married. You damn near have to be a god. Go back and man, we just had a conversation. You said you couldn't learn anything from it.
That's just a nice.
What'd your mother learn from your father?
Well, a lot. My dad's. I can't honestly tell you specifics, but how to be a wife and a best friend, and I just know my dad is very, very smart. He's a provider. You
got any siblings?
I have 2 sisters.
Are they married?
One is married and one is engaged, and this is her 3rd engagement.
It's not. I don't find this. I think it's kind of sad that so many of our sisters are so damn complex and difficult to wed. Difficult to wed and difficult to keep. When the black community, the divorce rate is approaching towards 60%, and 80% of divorces are filed by women. So you're already at least married. You're the most difficult to get married. And I'm going to say, I'm going to make a proclamation. You've heard the black women are the most educated, and that stat. What it really means is you're most enrolled. So I'm going to say you're the least married, but I'm going to also say you're the most engaged. You're the most engaged. I don't meet another group of women who've been engaged 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Right? It is not uncommon to meet a black woman who's 40 years old and been engaged at least a couple of times. It's very common. And I'm talking about full out engagement. Man drops. That's not cool. Because at the end of the day, you're not getting the outcome you want. Because your life is supposed to mean something. And at 38 years old, what's your life going to mean if you go through it by yourself until the grave?
I have a plan when I become around 44, 45, to adopt 2 children, older children. That is.
Oh, so you're going to be a single parent?
Yes, probably.
So you're going to purposely go in to do the one thing that you know gives children statistically the worst outcome.
My dog is snoring, I'm sorry.
How many kids you got?
I don't have children.
But so your dog is snoring.
Snoring. Yeah, I can hear her. I don't know if you...
Okay, well that makes sense. Her husband is the building. You think your godfather's crazy? Do you have a PhD?
No, a master's.
Master's, okay.
I'm a PhD.
Ma'am, you're an attractive woman. You have beautiful eyes, but come on, ma'am. You gotta know that your non-black female counterparts are not this difficult.
No, you're right. I agree with you.
Well.
And both of them... Oh, let me not say well.
Both of your sisters?
No, I was going to say both of my line sisters are married.
A Delta?
No, I'm not a Delta.
Okay, AKA?
No.
Sigma Gamma Rho?
Yes, why? Why ask me that?
Because you said your line sisters and before.
I know, yes. I'm a Sigma
So
Gamma.
my point is, ma'am, that when you're a little girl, I don't think you likely thought, I'll be a dog mom adopting 2 kids at 45, and that'll be the testament of my life.
No,
Why is that good enough now? Why is that what you're willing to settle for? So let me say something. Let me move you to the side. Ladies, why are you always talk about what man you ain't willing to settle for? I ain't gonna settle. Why are you willing to settle for death by yourself? Ladies, why are you willing to settle for dying alone? Why? You're the only group of women on the planet who is willing to be strong, independent. I don't need no man because I ain't gonna settle, but you'll settle for dying alone. Write it down, trademark it.
Can I say one thing?
Sure, go ahead. We're back to you now.
Oh.
Go ahead. That was an aside. Go ahead.
People who have, I'm just being honest, I'm not making this up. People who have dated me, or my friends and my friends who are in relationships, and they're always like, you are so cool. And the guys that I date, you are so cool. You make me laugh. You're this, you're that, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, after they date me, they go to an ex or somebody else, and then it's like they get married to that person.
Yeah, because nobody wants to marry the cool chick. They want to marry the wife.
What makes it not?
Well, first off, you're extremely picky. So you probably rank rather low in agreeableness.
To be honest, he came off when he was saying it. It's like, why did nobody? I already knew when she said that thing. She was like, everybody's gonna everybody says I'm cool, and then the next person they deal with, they marry. I thought because nobody wants to marry you. That's what I thought you would say.
Obviously,
but you the what do you call it? The stepping stone.
I am very agreeable.
Okay.
See what you don't like. See what you like.
Relationship.
Okay.
I do believe.
If I ask the guys, have you ever interviewed your exes?
Interviewed them?
Yes.
I've asked because I'm cool with my exes.
Okay, what is it like to be with you then?
I'm cool. Fun. It's fun. Pretty much.
I
I keep
so a guy that so if I interviewed your first ex-fiance, he would tell me being with you is what?
My first ex-fiance, he would say being with me was amazing, and
right until you dumped him.
He would still say that.
Okay, and then the second guy would say being with you is what?
Amazing.
Fun and
okay. Then the guy you made wait 90 days. How long were you guys together?
There's been more than one, but
fuck that bitch.
The last one, probably no more than a year.
You were with a guy for a year.
Huh.
Okay.
Made away 90 days and only spent was no longer than 365 days. So
why did you leave that relationship?
It was kind of a waste.
Okay, a waste meaning what? I mean, a waste meaning what? A waste meaning what? Your purpose in life is to. This is gonna be tough, man. But at 38 years old, you're doing something in the youth facility or youth what?
My job?
Yeah, your yes.
I'm in education right now.
Okay, you're in education, so it's not like you're solving the Riemann hypothesis. Why does a man need to be all these great and wonderful things other than a man?
Because I'm all these great and wonderful things.
Bullshit.
I am.
No, you're not. You're a normal, average, everyday woman. See, that's the problem. So many women pedestal.
This is where the jokes online come in. You ain't shit. You're a 4 at best. She ain't a 4, but
no.
Oh man.
Where'd you go to college?
HBCU, Lemoyne on College.
Okay, what makes you great and wonderful and in the top 1% of all women?
I am not in the top percent of.
So that means you're great and wonderful and all these things. What in your life makes you say that you're that?
I do believe I'm a great person.
It doesn't mean you can be a good person, but when I say it's so great and wonderful and everything else, go back to that cherry on top, and that's how you think of yourself, and that's why it's difficult for women like yourself to be with a man, because you always need to be above a man, and the men who are above you won't deal with you. Because we're on top of that kind of shit. Honestly, we don't.
I hear what you're saying.
Well, the thing is, man, and see. This is the kind of arrogance and entitlement this is what men think of it. The full of yourselfness that so many. All the ladies independent. I mean, that stuff in our culture has the women thinking they're better than the men, smarter than the men, above the men. But you're the most unmarried, most engaged, most enrolled. And ain't nobody marrying black women. Nobody. Brad, Leah, Meg, Keith, and Enrique, they were like, how can you even deal with this? Because at the end of the day, are you a Christian? I don't know if you are or not. I didn't ask.
I'm a Christian.
Huh?
Yes, I'm a Christian.
Okay, then if you're a Christian, a woman's purpose on the planet is a man. Your job is to be a helpmeet. Go forth, be fruitful, and multiply. That's the commandment. See, we're the most Christian, unchristian people. If black women actually acted like the Christians they say they are, a lot of this stuff would self-correct, because a lot of stuff you're talking about has no humility in it. You couldn't say I'm great and wonderful and all this if you really truly had an accurate estimation of your Christian self. But we don't say that. We don't say it in the pulpit because the pastor got to keep the tithes and offerings coming. Men have been shouted down in the community so much, or even, I mean, you said you've had opportunity after opportunity after opportunity after opportunity with men. You've had an embarrassment of opportunities and relationships, and no man is good enough?
I just would rather be alone than miserable with someone, because some of my friends or whatever who are in relationships, I see the ugly side of it.
I'd rather die alone than settle. You can't make this shit up.
I hear exactly what you're saying.
And here's the thing, sister. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. There's a whole industry that benefits off of black women being single and alone, because You may be a perfectly cool person to work with. You haven't been argumentative. You have not been loud, cursing. I don't think that's in you. But the sad part is your outcome is going to end up being the same thing as a ratchet, loudmouth, difficult to get along with. The end result is the same thing. Dog alone, death. At best, you got to go adopt somebody else's children because you could not come into cooperation with a man in your own natural life.
There's still time. I still have time.
Biological children?
Doing this adult.
You gotta do that though. I mean, you gotta have that mindset.
Yeah, you have time.
Been doing this adulting thing for 30 years. Still feel like you got to.
I mean, what else is she supposed to think? You know what I'm saying?
Well,
like
20 years, something.
Yeah, but what else is she supposed to think? You know what I'm saying? You gotta think optimistically about your situation if you're single at that age.
Is it optimistically or is it delusionally at this point?
Could
If you've been doing the same thing for 20 years.
Okay, so if you're doing the same thing, no, that'd be delusional, because that's the definition of insanity, to do the same thing over and over again and expect a different result, right? Mm-hmm. But I feel like if she's trying different methods in dating, and and then she's willing to open up herself up to that, then I don't think being optimistic is necessarily wrong in that particular scenario.
You have time, man, but let's go back 20 minutes ago. You don't have anybody in the pipeline, in the process. No man of value is actively vetting you to be his wife. So, ma'am, you may have time on the calendar, but you don't have time with a man of value. Be honest with yourself. Stop saying you have time if you don't actually have somebody trying to engage you now.
There's someone that has recently come back into the picture.
Does he want children?
No, he has children.
Exactly. Godfather can't make this shit up because people don't go for 30. They don't typically go for difficult to deal with 38-year-olds to have babies.
He doesn't think I'm difficult to deal with.
Okay.
I'm truly not.
Are you
difficult.
asking
in a
him?
relationship? I am the.
However you want. Okay, ma'am. You're easy to deal with, but okay.
In a relationship.
Okay.
Maybe not elsewhere.
But still, being a stepmother or an adopted mother, what you want, or do you want to see your own DNA? Do you want to see your daughter looking back at you with your eyes? Don't give me the college answer. Give me the truth.
No, the truth is what I said earlier. If I marry a man who wants to have a child with me, that's fine. This person.
I asked you, what do you want?
Has mentioned children.
I asked you what you want.
I don't necessarily want biological children.
Okay, if you don't want biological children, that's fine. So why are we talking about I still have time to have biological children if you don't want?
No, I still have time to meet someone. I won't necessarily die alone because I still have time to meet a man.
Man, why was talking about kids when I'm talking about you running out of time?
Oh.
Okay, yeah, you still have time to meet somebody. Yes, you do. Certainly. However, you also got to get realistic. What kind of relationship do you want with a man post 40 years old? Do you expect to work until 65 plus?
Yeesh.
I probably will.
Well, if you don't get married, you definitely will. Unless you're independently wealthy already, you're going to have to work at least until retirement age.
And I am not independently wealthy.
So you will have to work to 65 plus because your career path is not one of riches.
I make good money.
Good money is not one of riches.
I don't make that kind of money, right?
Hey, so it's middle class above, but it's not.
Right.
Okay, so that is not enough money to administer an elderly woman as your body starts to break down post 50 years old.
Yes, I hear you.
So
yeah.
It becomes a matter of necessity. See, why I said it's so complex because so many women like yourself want this fantasy. instead of the hardcore practicality of getting with the man to build something. But no, now we get to the point where you're in no man's land, and now it's like, well, what are we going to do? I got to try to see if I can find someone who's willing to partner with me and make a deal for what? To survive. Just to survive, to get to the grave and not be alone, because there won't be any children out of it. And all due respect, you've already shown yourself to be difficult to deal with a man, because one man didn't challenge you, one man's not going anywhere. All these men that you've been involved with, everyone seemed to be deficient in some way. And I will say this, and I'll get to the next thing. Relationships are reflective. That's why I said ultimately therapy is a good idea, because the only common denominator in all of your chaotic situations are you.
I know.
There's the only thing that was the denominator with me. Do you think your father has 3 daughters and wants to see them unmarried when he leaves this planet, unattached to anybody, out here floating in the universe? He knows what that means. But so many women walk through life so worried about the sex ain't good enough, or he's not challenging you, this and that. And every other group of women seem to understand the practical reason. You need a man.
That was the nice way to say why the second fiance didn't work out. I just didn't, I'm not trying to be rude.
Okay, I don't need you to be rude, but the thing is, I need women to start hearing women talk about these things so the younger women can decide what they want. Because in the black community, marriage and relationship is not promoted. Cooperating and submitting with a man is not promoted. And the thing is, we tell women that you can be living single or girlfriends and all these fantasy wonderful things that they are shown in sitcoms. What they don't show is the 40-plus-year-old women who are miserable. Miserable. Many overweight, many childless, many with jobs, middling jobs, not careers, making above the median income but below anything that's going to make them rich. You can go out and eat dinner every now and then, but you're not traveling to Paris or France or this or that. But in order to be with a man, he needs to be able to take you to the moon, or else I'd rather could do bad all by myself. We have so many things in our community that make women, sisters, sit back thinking, if I can't be with a man who can do all this, I'd rather be because I can do bad all by my what? Self. And I would rather, instead of settle.
Put it though.
And that's what a lot of women are going to get in our community, because 1 in 4 will marry at this rate. That means 3 out of 4 will die alone. And you are fortunate because you at least have had men. You've had opportunities. And it's not like you still have opportunities. All I'm saying, ma'am, just go get a mental checkup. Don't blow the opportunities that you still currently may have. Because for a woman like yourself who's always had opportunities, it's going to be a real shock when the opportunities stop. And they do that for everybody.
Yeah, that was Kevin Samuels. Did I make a mistake leaving him? Let us know what y'all think about it. Make sure y'all like, make sure y'all share, make sure y'all subscribe, man. We out there.